section.
Hi folks, I'm Smokin Joe with my co-host.
I'm Lizard Dick.
And this is the Cracker Culture Podcast, the podcast for real Floridians. To start the show, probably the biggest news going on around the nation today is the Freedom Convoy 2022. Now, you know, the mainstream media is not covering this. There is truck drivers coming from all over Canada. There's truck drivers coming from Georgia, going up to the borders of Canada. There's 3 or 4 different lines of traffic of Americans going in support of Canada to where they've decided to take a stand. The truck drivers decided to slow roll all the way to Ottawa, and they are demanding that Trudeau step down, and they're demanding no more mandates. No more of these draconian rules. They're not going to stand for it. I guess we found out who really had a spine in America is the people driving semis. And we're proud of you folks. All the people I've seen that's helping these drivers out. One lady was baking, how many dozens of cupcakes and stuff. People are set up all along the highway giving out food, water, provisions, blankets and stuff to help these truck drivers. And they started a GoFundMe account, and the last time I looked, it had already collected $7.25 million, and it's still rising.
Wow.
Hey, look, that's what it takes. If you love your country, you got to stand up. And I'm proud of our Canadian little brothers up there that stand up. I'm proud of all truck drivers. I have drove trucks since I was 18 years old. I've currently got a couple semis. I drive one personally from, the farm or from our packing house to different places myself, usually 5 days a week. Yeah, we definitely support this convoy. I want to go to a couple of things. First, I want to mention, if you're not following Liberty Junction, and that is a lady named Tara Jenner, and I don't know if she says her name Tara or Tara, but I country. Tara. I'm sorry, Tara.
Tara Jenner.
Good old Tara Jenner.
She runs a show called Liberty Junction. She's got a thing called the Hot Seat,
right,
where she's invited the candidates on. She's requested, and she has had some candidates on already. I know she had Gwinnett Gittins on. She also had Denise Nystrom on. I think the next one up is Christy DiVigelli she's going to have on. Her podcast usually goes live on Facebook on Thursdays, and I'm not sure what time. It's usually around 6 or 7.
Yeah,
in between 6 and 7. But look her up and follow her. I think you can email her at libertylady2021@gmail.com. If I'm wrong, Tara, please put in the comments on our feed how people can contact you. January 31st from 5 to 6:30 p.m. The Lee County School Board is going to have a superintendent candidate reception. It's open to the public. You can go visit the hand-picked few that the school board is going to choose even before an election. But I've said before, one guy didn't really even get enough votes to get considered. I don't know much about him. Somebody brought him up to me. I watched most of the candidate interviews, and by far the most impressive to me was Mallowan. He started with nothing, come from nothing, put himself through school. He kind of knows how the common people live, and I think that that's what we need realistically in our school system is less people that are I think people get so educated they lose common sense. And it's sad because things that I look at that, I just can't believe that are going on, they look at it like it's perfectly normal, acceptable. If any of you seen my live, I was attacked. Now I'm going to say this right now. I was attacked for my comments at the Lee County School Board, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And what I said was, the part that attacked me on is I said a man called the BLM a hoax, and it's proven to have been a terrorist organization, called a terrorist organization, and they proved by their actions during last summer that's exactly what they were. And anybody that thinks that supports or believes it's okay to have this Black Lives Matter movement or a Ku Klux Klan movement or any kind of race movement to have an effect on school board elections, you're not worthy of serving in my state. We don't have no room for racism. If any of you can probably go back on and see my live, what I said there. But either way, folks, get out there. I think we've got about 8 months before the primary. Get to know these candidates. Be careful. Don't just go with the ones that tell you what you want to hear. Really vet them out. That's why the only candidates that I have endorsed them off the merits of their actions I have seen, and I have looked at their credentials, and by far Denise Nystrom, who is running for District 6, which is an at-large position. Everybody can vote for her, no matter what district you're in. She has by far surpassed the bar in being qualified. So please look at Denise Nystrom. Christy Diabagelli, she's pretty much impressed me with the power to parent union. And if you just really see these people that seem to be in it not for the grandiose deal that, oh, look, I'm a school board member, or I'm a official people. These people don't really need that. They're special enough, in my opinion. They don't need something to set them up on a pedestal. Some other county news. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd, look, one of the greatest sheriffs of all time, in my opinion. And I think you can sign on to, he's got cartoons, he's got all kind of stuff. He's just a good old country sheriff, but he's a no shit type of sheriff, that's for sure.
You don't mess with him.
You don't mess with Grady Judd. So he just done a drug bust, and I had no clue this was going on. But apparently they got on some dating sites, and I think the first one he might mention was Grindr, which is I think a homosexual site, and a couple other ones where they were actually selling drugs right there for anybody. You could, and Grady Judd said you could swipe left for meth. One of the individuals was selling marijuana, and look, I don't know what the deal was when the sheriff's office come to make the buy. Said it was real strange. The guy, no lights really on. It was candle lit, and they asked where the marijuana was, and the guy said it's in the bedroom. When the deputy was a little nervous, but proceeded on to make the buy, and then the guy it comes in. There's a guy, I guess, laying naked on on the bed, and then I guess the other guy, the original guy who was supposed to sell the marijuana, started performing some type of sexual act and said, "Just take it. It's on the table over there. Just take it and go." Didn't even try to charge him for it. They later come back and arrested them too. So
yeah, but he didn't sell them nothing, right? He just kind of just like said, "It's on the table there. I'm busy," or what?
Yeah, no, he sold
my
it.
word.
He sold it to them. They got them. This is a very sad story here. This has happened out of Arcadia. A 14-year-old boy who I found out had autism was found. His grandmother reported suspicious activity. He was found to be locked in a shed out behind the house.
Like a tent shed or something?
Like a little metal shed. It said there was only one window with a vent to it. The door was locked from the outside. When they come in, there was a bed in there. There was some wrappers and stuff from food that they'd left with him. And I guess there was a bucket with what looked like to be human excrement or whatever. And the boy said, "You see that bottle of water over there?" And the sheriff said, "Yeah, I see it." He said, "I had to save it because he said, I don't know how long I'll be there. It might have been all I had for the weekend." The boy said he'd been there a few hours. It was common practice. So the police arrested Harry Richard Shoemaker and Jennifer Ann Hines for for aggravated child abuse. Look, I understand that you might have a child that has, like this boy had autism, or something that affects them where their brain don't trigger and fire for them to do things exactly properly. But if you think it's okay to imprison a child, you don't need to ever be let loose. I mean, I just don't agree with that. If you watched our last podcast, you know it was almost a train wreck. We had an unexpected guest, and
that was at Miami Chris or something. Yeah, I was here, wasn't I? Last podcast. Yeah, that was me. I thought that was a pretty handsome looking guy sitting next to you. Hey, by the way, got to give a shout out. I understand, Joe, that it might went up 50% on the ratings. I might have 2 or possibly 3 followers now. Thank you, lizard people. Appreciate it, lizard dick people. You know, for all your support and everything. Thank you all for watching the podcast. Joe, he's always saying something about coffee, so get him some coffee somewhere. You know what to do with that. And buy t-shirts and hats and all that stuff. And so, sorry about that, Joe.
Yeah. Buy me a coffee. .com/Smokin Joe. You can donate to our craziness there. Also, you can go into our website. We are sponsored right now only by Cracker Culture Collections.
Yep.
They're printing. They do our t-shirts.
Fabulous organization. Fabulous gal over there. Jesse does it all.
They do custom printing. They do my printing. They can do yours. You can contact Miss Jessie at crackerculturecollections@gmail.com.
Yep. There's me right there. This is part of Jessie's work right there. Look at that.
Well,
beautiful.
Yeah. Well, that shirt looks a little bit better in person, I guess, because we had to ultra key this because we.
Well, the color scheme may not go with the background.
You're right. So anyway, those are some the Cracker Day Rodeo started today, and at the Lee County Sheriff's Posse down off of Bayshore Road. I think they're also tomorrow. That's a great event. If you can get out and support it, anything to do with agriculture, you need to support, because agriculture is the lifeblood of the country, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so proud of these boys that's doing this Freedom Convoy 2022. You shut down, you really want to see the supply chain shut down? Piss off a bunch of truckers.
Yep.
Because they can stop the shelves from ever getting filled back up again. And look, I don't know if the mainstream media ain't covering it, but I've been watching a lot of live streams. There's families, there's children set up with drawing pictures. Thank you, truckers, for fighting for our freedoms. They want Trudeau out of office. They don't want no more.
Who is he? The president of Canada?
They think they can have a prime minister.
Prime minister. Okay.
And he's very young, very naive. I think he's younger than anybody we've ever had run our country and that. But it's look, the leftists, all their ideology is blowing up everywhere. You're seeing it with the people. I think the UK has already stopped all this nonsense about mandates. Here in the last free state in the United States, Florida, we've lived pretty good the whole time. I mean, we might win.
At the start, it was a little crazy, but that was to get seated into the long 2-year battle. I don't know if you heard that. It just came across the teletype. It was breaking news out of Fort Myers, Florida. They've got a forecast tonight of rain. It's going to be falling iguanas. Do you know anything about that?
I think that's supposed to start tomorrow. We have
tonight, midnight,
I think if what I'm understanding correctly, there's a nor'easter coming through.
Right.
It will start in the afternoon tomorrow.
Okay.
And it will have temperatures around 30 degrees for several hours.
Right.
And, being in agriculture, that means there's a lot of farmers up outside trying to save their crops right now. And I know what they're going through. I've done it many times. You'll have to get a fire going around it, and the smoke will try to keep the frost from setting on the plants. That's hard work, because you're driving all night keeping fires going at the end of beds of your plants and stuff. It's going to be a rough night on farmers tomorrow night. So keep the farmers in your prayers. Keep those truck drivers on that convoy in your prayers, because finally people with spines are showing up and they're driving trucks. I want to...
So you didn't really mention the iguanas falling out of the sky.
Yeah, so Lizard Dick has got a hard hat.
Yep.
Because he's afraid that the iguanas are going to fall from the trees onto his head.
And I don't need any more things falling on my head. I mean, there's been a tremendous amount so far. And can you imagine a 2 or 3 pound iguana falling on your head without a hard hat? Or worse than that, what if he was hanging out? No, I don't want to go there. But
Well, the thing about it is, when it gets 40 degrees, they do go into shock, almost like toxic shock, and they're not dead. They'll warm back up and come back to life.
Ain't there some stuff I can remember when I was kids, unless people lied to me about like a squirrel being dead or something, and then warming it up or something, and then the son of a bitch jumps up and goes back to life. Maybe it was, that was a bad trip. Sorry, never mind. That was back in the 70s. Sorry.
Early 70s. Early 70s, you wouldn't have been about 6 years old.
Shut up. Why do you have to say that? God. Yeah, you're about right.
So, well, I guess we might as well move on to other topics.
Moving on up.
Lizard Dick had to go back to the VA today for another
assessment.
Anal assessment.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who've been listening, it's kind of been following along, you know, for stories on my ass and things like that. Today, I was a little confused on my appointment card. It said surgery, and I didn't recall anybody saying I was going to have surgery, so I was a little nervous as to what might happen as the door closed upon me. As I sat down, I was told that I was there for a consultation on the examination that took place a few weeks ago, and that was the basis for the last video. As I described in the last video, I described the Wicked Witch of the North when you show her hand and it's got like all these crooked joints. As I was talking to this woman today, I casually glanced at her hands to see if she was the same woman.
So
I
you
can
thought
neither
you
confirm.
would know, you could confirm by the knuckles that
I thought the joints would tell me what was going on, but I was unable to do it. So not a CSI agent, I'm not. So anyway,
you're not confirmed if it's the same.
I do not
fingers
know
that probed you before.
I do not know, nor did I know at the time, was it going to happen again? Because you know, we lost a ring up there, or you know, we got to do another inspection because.
So did she have to do another inspection?
No, she did not. She did tell me there were some things that I was supposed to have done in between the last visit and now, of which I was totally oblivious, and I had to tell her, look, I had no knowledge of any of this. I understand you're saying you told me. I don't know. She said, well, you were supposed to not strain when you got on the toilet. I got that part down. That's done. I said, look, if that shit don't drop out right when I get on the toilet, I'm off of that son of a bitch and going down the road, you know?
But a lot of times when you strain, I mean, what if you're sitting there and it's like, you know...
If you hung up or something?
Yeah, I mean, do you just get up and like chop it off with a knife?
Well, I was saying to her, it doesn't look very attractive when you got, you know, what they call athletic shorts on and big old longs hanging out your ass as you're walking down the, you know, the sidewalk. That's crazy.
Maybe you ought to be ready for the pen.
But she said, you know, and she said, but don't, how'd she put this? If it doesn't want to
put it up your ass.
If it doesn't want to come out, then it shouldn't. And I'm like you, but what if the Hindenburg was halfway out of the parking lot and now you're going to stop it and do what with it? If you ain't reverse engineing, then you're in trouble, brother. You know what I'm saying? And so she don't understand none of that. I said, well, and I was supposed to do this Metamucil, supposed to drink that. Well, I don't, you know, it even sounds gross. So I haven't done that. I'm supposed to drink a glass of that every day. That's supposed to keep my business intact so it can come right on out just like nobody's business. And there was a third
get you
thing.
some like 30-weight motor oil and take a teaspoon of that every day. That'd probably lube you up pretty good. Maybe some axle grease. Hey, axle grease. Did she give you some axle grease?
She did give me that, and she said, have you used that? And I said, well, cautiously. I said, no, it's an aerosol. No, I was going to cram it up my butt and squeeze the trigger. You know what I mean? Am I supposed to fill it up and then it expands, or what? Is this some kind of... You know,
like spray foam?
Yeah, you just see me grab the wrong damn can. What's he in here for? He's in the hospital. He sprayed foam up his ass. Yeah.
I got a can of spray foam out there in the barn.
Guaranteed to never shit again. But anyway, she just scolded me for not doing what I was supposed to do and sent me along my way. So another 3 months. I've got 3 months to get my blank together. Yeah, get my shit together. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. She was very nice to me, very compassionate. You know, even though I'm an idiot and can't follow directions, but hey.
Well, as we get older, I mean, me and you both, you're older than I am, thank God.
I know, but yeah.
And the thing of it is, we get older, we tend to start having problems we never foreseen.
No.
And then, you know, a lot of times, especially going to the VA, you ain't going on GQ or nothing. You can calm down with that hair.
Bro, I was making sure everything was in place.
Okay.
You know, just calm down.
But you know, I've been dealing with the VA with my dad here for months, and You know, look, our veterans ought to be your most important concern. Their medical, you know, for the service of our country, the least we can do is be on top of their medical thing. And I'm just going to put this out there. My father's doctor, when he went in, the lady that was talking to him, I guess was the counselor or whatever, and she said, well, I don't understand why you ain't been taking this medicine. He said, you ain't sent me no prescription, no medicine. She actually called the doctor into the room that was supposed to prescribe the medication, and she said, oh, I'm sorry, I never even prescribed it. Slipped my mind, I had family issues. Well, you know, here's somebody sitting in pain for months, and the doctor simply
slipped his mind.
Slipped her mind.
Her mind, yep.
Because she had family issues. To me, that's just not justifiable. I mean, my dad's 81 years old. He needs to be as comfortable as he can be. He gave his service to the Air Force, and you know, it's, you know, you need to take care of our veterans. I don't care where they served, how long they served, what their job was during their service. Our veterans should be top priority, in my opinion. But we'll go on from there. Yeah, anybody that watched last week's podcast, man, it was rough. I mean, it really, I can't joke around enough about how rough last week's podcast was. And I tried to edit it in. I even edited in a lot of the scenes that was off-camera stuff just because of content. Because, you know, I hate to get so frustrated with somebody, and I don't want to be mean in case there is...
Are you talking about the Q drops?
Yes. You know, somebody talks about a Q drop.
And not only that, he knows somebody, or he knows he's getting messages from the grave on the internet.
Yeah,
okay, he's getting emails or some shit,
yeah,
right?
From John.
Did I not hear that correctly?
McAfee, yeah.
Yes, John McAfee, who
and
is the...
put this out there again, John McAfee, if you're sending messages from the grave, contact Miss Jessie
Yeah,
at
we're needing some
Collections
yeah.
at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And send us a few bucks, you know,
About
buy us
Miss
a coffee
Cleo,
or
too.
something.
Talk to Miss Cleo about
it.
Okay, sorry about that. Well, I was just saying because I found that awful strange that you could, I guess you can believe anything. I mean, you know, we talked about that song, what did you sing a while ago, that schizophrenia song?
Oh, no, that's going to come out. That's going to be my own.
I didn't mean to break that out. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I am working on a video it's a song I wrote about schizophrenics.
Right.
Since I'm best friends with schizophrenic, and we seem to have schizophrenics show up on our shows, so we might as well sing about them.
It's a sing-along. Welcome.
Yeah, we'll have little dots going across the screen.
The bouncing ball.
Oh, shit. So what else is going on in the lizard dick world this week?
Well, you know, last week, I don't know if I threw this out there, I had an incident at work where I was injured on the job, okay? I threw a pallet on the ground, and that son of a bitch jumped off the ground and attacked my ankle and beat the living shit out of it, and my foot. All right? There I was, standing there, right in front of my boss, looking him dead in the face, going, the only thing that could come out of my mouth that I can't say right now, that it says starts with an F and it ends with a K. And I said that so loudly you could hear it at the pool. Because I was in a tad bit amount of pain at that point. So I walked off into the parking lot, limping as I would, dragging my dangling leg that was barely hanging on by a thread.
Oh, shit.
As I sat down on the bench to assess the situation, the truck was finished being unloaded. Thanks to good Lord, I didn't have to do that. So anyway, suffice to say, I did a week and a half later have the said ankle and leg x-rayed. Don't worry, fans. I'm okay. No fractures, no breaks, nothing like that. Everything's just completely wonderful. It's healing up pretty nice. And my boss said I could return to work immediately, full strength, right away, like, let's get her done. So, I mean, I thought about, hey, let's try this light duty shit out just a little bit and see how that works out. Maybe kind of hang out a little bit, sit down for a little bit, maybe work a little bit. Oh no, let's test that leg out to see if it's going to hold up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but no, he didn't really say that. I made a small portion of that up. Might have been lies. But anyway, so not much other than that, just getting injured and stuff, and and then we got this dreadful thing going on tomorrow with these falling iguanas. I'm a little bit nervous. I might even just stay indoors tomorrow. Because it ain't nothing going to fall through my roof, is it? You think one fall from a palm tree through a guy's roof or something?
I don't think you got much to worry about. Huh. Might dent up that beautiful truck you drive.
Oh, thank God I got rid of that Oldsmobile. Could you imagine if it was sitting out there in the wilderness and freaking iguanas?
Let me go back to one thing. When I was talking about, Liberty Junction being aired on Thursday nights. Also, on Thursday nights, if you're in the Naples area, this young man, Dan Cook, and he's very impressive. He knows so much about the Constitution. I mean, he really tries to teach what he preaches. He runs the Part-Time Patriot Project, and they're having a meeting on Thursday, January 27th, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. That's going to be at the Food and Thought, 2132 Tamiami Trail North in Naples, Florida. This young man's very informative. He's, like I said, his daughter was one of them that stood up at one of the Collier County School Board meetings against the mask mandate early on. And she went, I think went viral from her little speech, and she's a very intelligent young lady. But yeah, if you follow the Part-Time Patriot Project, Dan Cook does a good job. He really does inform, and he promotes some other things. I mean, there's self-defense classes that they're promoting. And that, that's more for, you don't know what's going to happen in the world today. You never know. And with what happened back during the Summer of Love, if you can learn something simple to defend yourself in a bad situation to get you to safety, hey, I'd suggest everybody go out and try it. Like I said, but that's Dan Cook with the Part-Time Patriot Project, and they're out of Naples. So yeah, you really ought to check those guys out, man. There's a lot of good patriot organizations that people need to be following, and they're not the ones that's got Q drops and all that other. They're not talking to McAfee from the grave.
Conspiracy theories and all this.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that some of the stuff that any patriot talks about, that somebody's going to call a conspiracy theory, but, it's, I don't know if you've seen this, Neil Young, who played with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and then later Young, he didn't like what Joe Rogan says on his podcast, which Joe Rogan has been outspoken about that he thinks all this is BS. They from the jab to the mandates and stuff, and so Neil Young turned to Spotify, who plays Neil Young's music, and said, I'll either you get rid of Joe Rogan's show or you pull all my content off of your channels. I'll not be on there, because he is putting out false information and I don't want to be no part of it. Well, Neil Young's always been a leftist hippie type. I mean, you know, it's easy to enjoy people's music, but then when you really see what they stand for, I think Crosby, Stills, and Nash would probably prefer Joe Rogan in their group than they had Neil Young in the first place. But hey, good for Spotify. They told
Neil Young to get that.
They told Neil Young, said, "Okay, see you." But that don't really. And I was listening to another.
Yeah, but either way, the Spotify would have went. They would have been. Somebody would have said, "Well, you're on their side or you're on their side." There's never a neutral side for them to be on.
But
everybody should have an opinion. The guy, like you were saying, that's on there, that
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's got an opinion, and so does somebody else. But because Neil Young wanted to press his opinion, that's what happened.
Well, that's exactly
right.
What it is.
I mean,
he because Neil Young don't agree with his views, and he needs to be silenced. And that's happening to us. We have had a 90-day, just recently, a 90-day, we're lowered down in the news feeds and things like that for 90 days over content that was, I don't think they said it was deceptive or whatever. And the content was a post that was shared over a year ago, and I'll just tell you right now, Seed to Table had a camera crew set up that was fixing to do a film, a commercial or something with Alfie Oakes, the proprietor of Seed to Table, and a woman walked up to him and she had her mask on, and she confronted him about his beliefs on the mask and mandates and her beliefs and stuff. And like the man said, he said, "Look, I'm not telling you that you come in here and you have to not wear a mask if you want to." He said, "If you want to wear a space suit, a hazmat suit, a football helmet, wear whatever you want to. But, you know, don't tell other people what they should do." That was shared on my feed. I'm sure I shared it on my feed because I believe in the same values that got us to this place that we're at. And, you know, so I think it was kind of a little bit ridiculous that they're going back over a year for anybody that's seemingly not promoting the liberal agenda, the leftist agenda, the Marxist agenda, the socialist agenda, the communist agenda, the Biden, Fauci, F-up agenda. You know, they're censoring us all. Look, you'd have to be blind, deaf, dumb, and all the above to think that the current administration and the things that has happened as far as the pandemic and as far as the racial tensions is justified. It's not just, none of this was ever justified. This was all a cover-up, a scam, and now we're back into more turmoil because our dysfunctional administration is not listening to the president of Ukraine, who's telling him to calm down, and he's telling, "Oh no, the threat's imminent from Vladimir Putin." Look, do I think Putin was going to invade Ukraine? It's very highly probable that he will. Why? Because we have a paper tiger as a president in the United States that has no backbone, and he has made deals in the past with Russia. He's made deals in the past with Ukraine. I mean, for God's sake, man, we've got, our only hope is I don't even know if impeachment helps at this point. We as Americans have to apologize to the rest of the world that however the election got to the point it got to, that we have put a mental cripple in the highest office of the land. And as a Floridian and as a U.S. citizen, people around the country, I'm sorry. I didn't put him in there. It wasn't my choice, and I apologize for the suffering, the high gas prices, the $5-6 a pound hamburger meat that you're purchasing now, the things you can't find on shelves. Look, I'm having no problem finding what I need. I know the stores to go to. I shop local. I eat local, and I try to activate local. So, anyway, I wanted to mention that. I do want to mention one more serious topic while we're here. I've told y'all that January, we're at the end of January, but January was Human Trafficking Awareness Month and situation. Let me see here. Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Training for your organization, church, or business. You can contact Sergeant Wanda Hanley. Her phone number is 863-673-6045, or you can email her at whanley@henrysheriff.org to schedule an appointment. Look, I know Wanda personally. The last 2 years, Wanda's worked with me with getting some of these displaced children gifts and stuff during Christmas as the Swamp Santa, and I can't thank her enough. We went to Christmas Eve. We delivered presents. We went to one of the homes, one of the places where they keep the children safe that are maybe from abused homes or could have been part of the human trafficking situation, whatever. We got an escort in there, and we was able to give the children their gifts. It was very nice. Sergeant Wanda Hanley at Henry County Sheriff's Office. She is a great woman. She's a great officer. We appreciate your service, Wanda, and we know what you're doing, and everything you're doing is to make our community better, and we thank you and all other officers in our areas. I know it's a tremendous job that is. I just couldn't imagine getting up every day, putting on that uniform, and going out there and having to see some of the tragedies they have to deal with. And I mean, I see a lot of them. Like, I went live because I seen a man dead on the side of the road in Immokalee, and I contacted. The Sheriff's Department was very, willing to help. However, FHP, I guess, had took over the investigation. I did reach out to their public communications officer, public relations officer. He did not contact me back. I understand. I mean, hey, who am I other than a tax-paying citizen?
Right.
I can't be like Peter Ducey and be called a son of a bitch by the president yet. I ain't got that status. But no, look, we do support law enforcement, and if you know that we are number 3 in the United States in human trafficking, I suggest that if you want to see the signs, because they're not like what's in the movies, as Sergeant Hanley has said, these people, they groom these people. A lot of times it's through Facebook networks and the such. They groom these people to the people that's getting trafficked don't even know that they're getting trafficked until it's too late. So if you want to get more tips, please reach out to Wanda Hanley at the Henry County Sheriff's Department. And one more time, her phone number is 863-673-6045. Her email is WHAINLEY at henrysheriff.org. And also, if you're not in our particular area, wherever you're watching us from, there is a National Human Trafficking Hotline. That number is 1-888-373-7888. Once again, that National Human Trafficking Hotline, 1-888-373-7888. Look, that's very important that you folks know what to look for in there. So let's move on to something else. What do you want to talk about tonight? What's going on good with you? Got something good going on in life? I mean,
well, you know, last week I went to the hockey game there. I went to see, I think it was Utah playing the Florida Everblades. I went with the daughter, and I froze my ass off, but it was a good game. Everblades won 5-2. Looked like Utah was fixing to kick our ass because they was being pretty rough with us. But I guess that kind of pissed us off and got us to going. And then they scored 5 goals. So I ain't much on hockey. I'm learning. You know, I know they got foul lines. They got different lines that certain people can't cross. They got offense and defense. It ain't just a puck flying across the ice. There's a lot more to it. So I ain't really found nobody to teach me that yet, but I'm trying to do it on the ice training. You know, I'm just sitting in the stands and figuring it out, but I'm not doing too well.
Well, I don't know that you're going to get much help out of anybody around this area. We don't ice skate.
I don't ice skate either. Been watching ice hockey is pretty entertaining, especially when, you know, they throw a stick at each other's head or something like that. You know, it's pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
And you get to see Swampy. He's the mascot for the Florida Everblades. Yeah. It's at Hertz Arena, bro. Where else would you be in beautiful Southwest Florida on a Wednesday evening?
On a Wednesday evening?
Yeah. Yeah. What are you going to do on a Wednesday night?
I'd go sit in my living room before I go sit.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to talk about it's going to local businesses and patronizing them and spending my money
Hertz Arena,
locally.
you think that's spending your money locally?
Well, I paid them $15 for the parking lot just to sit in their parking lot for 3 hours, okay?
Okay, well, since we're on sports, I'm going to bring up the Super Bowl.
Oh, here we go. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
The Bengals are going to beat the Chiefs this weekend, and they will make it to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1982. Or 81. 81, my bad. 81.
Well, they got a pool going on at work. And
it's been 40 years.
$20 a square, bro. $20 a square.
Well, and until the NFL changes their stance on putting BLM and shit like that on helmets and endorsing other terrorist organizations in any way, I could give a shit less about the Super Bowl.
I'm talking about making money off of it.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but like I said, my hometown's team, my football team has a potential to go to the Super Bowl in almost 40 years. Okay, so they play Kansas City, so I think that they're going to beat them. I hope that they beat them at least. And then Los Angeles Rams and San Francisco 49ers are playing against each other. Between those two, I would like San Francisco.
Yeah,
I'd like to see the Bengals and San Francisco go at it.
And there you have it, folks. The Bengals, San Francisco. That's Jess's pick. What's your pick, Joe? You have no pick.
I have no comment on the NFL currently.
You want to take a knee on that, or what?
Yeah, I'm taking a knee on the NFL.
Take a knee on that one. Okay.
And how about you, Gary?
The only time I worry about that is I get in the football pool where I just pick for $20. I pick a square. That's the extent of what happens.
Okay, so
I did that one time. I had $20 in the whole deal. I won the fourth quarter score and the overall, or whatever it was, or the halftime. I won them both $500.
Nice.
Dollaros. And people were like, Gary, you don't even know who was playing. I said, I don't really care. Care what the score was. Care who's playing. $500. Do you know what that means in lizard language? I mean, that's a lot of dollaros.
That's
right
a couple buffets.
That's right. I quit my job over some shit like that, brother. I mean, I'm ready. I'd vacation in probably Tice over there. Probably get me a nice chair or two.
Get you a
Umbrella.
nice motel over there in the shores. Not knocking the shores people. Hey, look,
No offense, yeah, I hate short people.
No offense to the
More
folks
shorts
in the-
people. Yeah.
Yeah, we love you just as much
Yeah.
as we love the ones over off of Michigan Link.
You can't
or
say
anywhere
that,
else.
bro. You can't say that.
Why?
Just say by Duncan's Diamond District, because they know where that's at.
I don't even know where that's
It's
at.
right there in front of Crime Manor. It's right there. On the corner.
Pine Manor
I mean, I'm sorry.
in little Pakistan.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys need anything, head on over there. They got
What was
anything
that?
you need, man.
What was that they used to say when I was how they rated the women? You had Suncoast sexy. That means she wasn't missing too many teeth. You had Pine Manor pretty. That meant that she had bathed in the last 2 or 3 months. What was the other one?
Different levels of
Yeah,
life. I don't know.
Different
I didn't ever hear
areas,
it.
they had different sayings for, oh yeah, she's Suncoast sexy. Yeah, no. Look, there's a lot of good people in Suncoast. They're just common folk like us and that, and they get a hard road. And the truth of it is most of those people in Pine Manor and those areas that tend to get made fun of are realistically, in today's economy, they're just living at what's affordable. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Well, you know, you've been around my people. You've seen trailers that are just like pivoted on top of a coal mine hill, back up in nowhere. You've been to where I was.
That
some of
was
my
in
people's at.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, that right there is probably a beautiful place in relation to places like that. In
Right.
other words, at least the siding was on that trailer. It wasn't just rough insulation shown or something like that. And, you know, so you knew the caliber of the situation as soon as you pulled up. Who in God's name would put a fucking trailer on a hill like that, on a mountain, deep ravines and coal mines right in front of it? I mean, I guess what else would you do with the land?
Yeah,
You know?
I don't know. I didn't know that was a coal mine. I thought it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
garbage
Yeah, it's
dump.
coal mine.
I thought it was a garbage dump, to be honest.
Well, it wasn't far from it. The way
No,
it
no,
looked.
I mean, I'm being serious. The
No,
whole
it wasn't a
time
garbage
I
dump.
thought it was a landfill.
That was a coal mine that they didn't reclaim properly. You know how they dug the coal and then took off before they were
Right.
supposed to put the land back nice the way it was.
Yeah.
But they don't do that because they done got their money.
Mm.
Thank you, Oklahoma coal people.
There ain't no
Yeah,
Oklahoma coal people.
Not
right
anymore
now.
because
They're
Oklahoma
buying
coal's never been worth buying.
them.
It's not a very good grade of coal. They've said that for years.
Yeah.
10 years they've said that.
Well, getting back to what this podcast show's about, and that's about Florida,
What is
not Oklahoma.
You know what? Oklahoma is a part of one of the talents here on the show here. I was born, I wasn't born, I was raised in Oklahoma. So don't
You
be
was
trying to be like
raised,
that.
but you was also born in
Los Angeles.
yeah. Yeah, but I wouldn't even admit that.
Well, it's
Yeah,
true. What do you want me to say?
That'd almost be like saying I go into the damn bus station and lick commode seats and say I was
Oh,
born in
my
California.
word. Here we go. You're talking about profiling here, my brother. I tell you, for a host of a show, I can't believe you talk to me like this. I might, who is it, Morgan and who? I'll talk to them people because I got a
he's
contract.
a liberal too.
You know I got a contract. Look here.
Look here. You're
I
not
signed
going
a
to promote.
contract.
You're not going to promote liberals on this show. If you want to promote Sean King,
All right. I'll talk with Sean.
Sean King,
Because
I'll
I'm telling you
promote
right now,
Sean King.
I signed a contract when I started this show here, and you know, I think it's supposed to have a cheese tray every time I come. There's someone has failed to do that.
Kraft Foods didn't show up.
Anyway, to my fans, I am a very important part of this show, just in case, and you knew that anyway. Joe's just
Look,
a
and look,
figurehead.
I'm gonna tell you,
You know.
look, realistically, I was amazed. We went out. Me and Miss Jessie went to the Miss Denise Nystrom, who is running for District 6, which is at large in Lee County School Board. We went to the kickoff party, and the first thing that happened is a young girl walked up, a very young girl, very pretty girl, said, "Aren't you Smokin Joe?" And she said, "Oh," and I said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, I love your show. Where's Lizard Dick?" And then the funniest thing is, then Mike Thompson, who is the head of the East Lee County Republicans, he said, "Is Lizard Dick coming?" I'm like, "Now Lizard Dick ain't as political as I am," but yeah. So, and that's another thing. I think the East Lee County Republicans has got something coming up in February here too.
March.
Was it March or February?
March.
I thought March was Christy Diabajelli.
Yeah, but on March 10th they have
We'll keep you updated before it gets there, but yeah, if you are a Republican and that there's some of these groups you need to support. Like I said, East Lee County Republicans, I like those guys. It's what Mark and Christy and what was the other girl? You remember his name? I'm slipping.
Mark, Crystal, Brenda.
Mark, Crystal, and Brenda. You know, they do a real good job. And that being said, they had a great turnout at Ms. Nystrom's kickoff party, and you know, I weigh that crowd there versus what I seen at the REC the previous week, and you know, everybody was happy. It was a friendly crowd, maybe because it was strictly about Denise Nystrom. And the only reason I went to the REC is because I had got a tip that they were going to run a slate, and they had already 8 months before the primary already pre-selected 4 candidates they were going to back. And what happens when these organizations do this, it doesn't leave much chance for these other candidates that they don't support, because
people write them off.
What happens is like if they ran that slate and voted on that slate and it carried, they would put out flyers for those people. They would invest money in those 4 people that they on that slate, which I don't think is fair. I like some of the people that's on the slate, and some of them, even though I like them, do I think they're qualified as school board members? Absolutely not. And you know, and not to stir up no griff amongst fellow Republicans. That's not what I want to do. But you know, some Ovians, I think some Ovians are in it for the politics, and especially some of them on that slate. And I'm just saying, I wasn't very impressed with some of them on the slate. Now, I ain't saying they ain't good people. Don't take that for what it is. I'm just saying that for the REC to come out this early before these other candidates get their names out, and what made me know that it was true, and I'll just tell you what happened. Mike Thompson from the East Lee County Republicans, he just come in there and told us, hey, he said, he went up there and he said, look, if y'all do this, he said, I'm shutting my club down altogether. He said, because it's not right. Well, whether that weighed in on it, weighed any factor, I mean, who knows? I'm glad Mike had the balls to stand up to him and tell him that, and I'm glad that they made the right decision. But when I was leaving, the lady at the sign-in desk confirmed that what I had been told was true. She said, she said, well, I think we should go ahead and get behind a few candidates. She says, and I said, well, I don't think we've heard from them. She said, oh yeah, they've all been properly vetted. And she was kind of trying to push me towards the slate. And that really was something that left a bad taste in my mouth. Not saying it's a bad organization, but it's one of the reasons why I won't join the organization.
Right.
I don't, cause you know me, I'm the type of guy, I say exactly how I feel about things, and the problem is, a lot of people have a problem with my truth. I have a problem with their bullshit.
Well, they want you to sugarcoat it for them, and you're not about to. You're just gonna tell them the way.
No, I mean, look, I'm Florida. I am a Florida man, and I want what's best for Florida, what's best for my children, your children, our grandchildren, and the future of everybody's children to come. And again, I did put out I had challenged any of the candidates running for any office, but especially the school board, that wanted to come on and sit down and talk with me, not about the same things, because any of those meetings, every candidate says the same thing, the things you want to hear. We're against the pornography books in the school. We're against CRT. We're against. Yeah, if you're in a conservative crowd, you're saying that the key points we want to hear.
Right.
But you're
What else
talking.
you got?
But you're talking to people that you're looking to donate to fund you. All right. But your the constituents you have, there's far more of them that ain't going to be at those meetings, and that really don't even know who you are.
Right.
And so that was one of the. That's what impressed me most about Denise Nystrom and Christy Diavagelli. I've watched them. They went out and they've been going out. They went out to the parks. They've gone out. They've been at all the school board meetings. They're realistically trying to connect with the community, where I think others are trying to connect with other politicians. And when you get to be where, like, I need this politician to endorse me and this and that, and then, it kind of takes away the common person's voice and the chance for these other candidates that's not being backed, like the Slade or whatever.
Right.
It diminishes their chances, and it's unfair. I just can't go along with it. Now, do I agree with endorsing candidates? Yeah, I endorse candidates. But as a group of Republicans, and you're looking to a candidate to endorse, I think that you need to wait till it's closer in the primary. I mean, because I think Batty Betsy Barn, I don't even think she's running again. I think she already come out and said she wasn't. Mary Fisher, who's like a petrified stone to District 1, I don't think, she ain't going to tell us until March if she's running. I hope she goes ahead and retires and spends some time with her grandchildren. I still am open on how I feel about several other candidates. District 5, I'd really like to talk to the two main people running for that office, because, whether I agree with all of some of them's actions or not, I would like to, what's the best of the two evils.
Right.
You
keep messing around, and I'll go talk to Miami Mike or Chris, Miami Chris. You know what I'm saying?
You better hush. He might be able to teleport his way
Shit,
over
I hope
here.
he's not listening to us live.
And I hope he don't.
Oh.
We are not sending you no messages.
No.
No numbers.
And
None of that shit.
No, and I don't get messages from dead people either.
Yeah, no.
So,
we're not clairvoyants or mediums or nothing.
No Ouija boards over here.
No.
No.
But again,
Yeah.
if there's a way for them to contact us from the grave, like they're contacting old Miami Chris, hey man, it's easy to find my phone number. Call me up. I'll talk to you.
If you got cash or something, or Venmo or something like that, you want to buy us a coffee, that's cool. But otherwise, we don't talk to spirits. You know what I'm saying? Lizard
is either under medicated or over medicated, so we're not sure if his sense of humor. We have to put it on the margin level, and he's usually super funny most days.
I'm always super funny. I'm not sure where he's going with that. He's the one that's not being funny. He's read script all afternoon here and all evening, and I ain't been able to get a word in edgewise, so how can I be funny? Okay? He's talking about the school board, which that's important. He's talking about, all these local topics where, I agree with all that, but I just, let him. And plus, he's the boss and the TV star, so,
No, I ain't the boss nor the TV star. I'm just the person that tries to put this information out.
But I'll try to be a little bit more lively. I apologize to my 2 viewers. It will love peace and gator greases or something.
All right, folks. I'm Smokin Joe for the Smokin Joe Nation and the Cracker Culture Podcast. We love you, Florida. Love, peace, and gator grease. Follow us, like, share, subscribe. We are on most where you can listen to your podcast. You can find us. We're on BuzzFeed. We're slow to put out content because we're just figuring out our Rumble account.
We're slow people anyway.
Yeah, he's a little slow in period.
I'm not on my period. I told you that.
You ever get that not so fresh feeling?
Sometimes.
Anyway, folks, please continue to watch our craziness. We might not be
might not have been as funny. So let's have a disclaimer that we might not have been that
we
funny
might
tonight.
not have knocked it out of the park.
We'll make
tonight.
it up to you. Stay tuned, okay?
I think we were hindered by the NFL bringing up the. And another thing before we sign off. Carhartt clothing.
Yeah.
That. Look. If you've got Carhartt clothing,
burn that
shit. Burn it. We will no longer support.
I saw it on Facebook, and people are saying, "Why are you burning a $250 jacket?" And the guy, I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah. No, they sold out. So,
all right.
Well, when they sell out,
after you, Carhartt.
Yeah, we'll get rid of them. Would you like to say goodnight to Chris Patrica?
Good night, Chris Patrica. I hope you find another fucking job in your dreams tonight.
Anyway, folks, for the Cracker Culture Podcast, for Smokin Joe, Lizard Dick, Miss Jessie, we're going to call tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll have more colorful, crazy content coming out soon.
Yep.
Hopefully it won't be on Lizard's rectum next time.
I tell you what, I'm going to have to go see some different doctors. Maybe next time I'll go to a sex doctor. You know what I'm saying?
A sex doctor.
Well, whatever, they deal with sex deals,
So you're having sexual issues?
I did not say I was having a bitch. I'm not going to bitch slap you. I am just saying that I'm just being funny, and now you got to drag me down like this.
You brought it up.
How dare you? Let's change the subject, okay? You transgender looking bitch here.
Bitch,
all right.
I'm going to really slap the shit out of you.
This is for the after hours blooper reel.
Come out!
Woo!
You're Ric Flair and you me don't scare me. Folks, come out and see us wherever we're going to be.
We don't even know where we're going to be, but when we're there, we'll let you know we're there.
Yeah, and look, if you think we're funny on these podcasts, you ain't met us in person yet. We ain't got a damn lick of sense. We're out in the crowd.
We're just a hair away from disability.
Mental disability.
Yep. They'll say, well, you'll never work again. Well, I wasn't planning on it anyway, you motherfuckers.
Hey.
I didn't say anything. I said from time to time or so.
Yeah. Please don't encourage nobody to Baker act him. He's really a good guy. And I'm talking about Lizard, not Miami Chris.
Before the school even started.
Anyway, you candidates is up for election. We're glad that you're going to be gone. We know that you're going to be gone. We're glad of that.
Anybody wants to come over and I can interview you and see what your qualifications are for the board and see what you're going to be able to do for our students and and our
If
parents and what you can do better for the school district as to what's going on right now. You know, right?
Yeah, any candidate that is running for public office, a school board, county commissioner, anything that wants to come on here and talk common sense. I don't want your bullet points. I can hear them at your little meetings. You want to come on here and talk
No
common
script,
sense.
man. No script. Just
We're
walk in.
unscripted. We're raw.
Well,
you know,
you might be raw. I use lotion.
You need lotion. Anal lube. Anyway,
It all goes back to my ass, don't it?
You're the ass of all our jokes.
You know me. I'm the royal ass.
Yeah, we'll get you a crown.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With a crack in the back.
Yeah. Again, all right, we're really for real going to sign off this time. I'm Smokin Joe with Lizard Dick for the Cracker Culture Podcast. We love you, Florida. Love, peace, and gator grease. And we're out.
That's a rat.
It's a rapper.